recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If he openly declares himself to be a communist, we take his word for it. If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may be a communist. If a person supports organizations which reflect communist teachings, or organizations labeled communist by the Department of Justice, she may be a communist. If a person defends the activities of communist nations while consistently attacking the domestic and foreign policy of the United States, she may be a communist. If a person does all these things over a period of time, he must be a communist.
Symbol of hope and freedom to the communist-dominated peoples of Eastern Europe, and built this powerful 135,000-watt radio-free Europe transmitter in Western Germany. The crusade for freedom is your chance and mine to fight communism. Join now by sending your contributions to General Clay, Crusade for Freedom, Empire State Building, New York City.
That's why these children are practicing to duck and cover just as you do in your school. We all know the atomic bomb is very dangerous. Since it may be used against us, we must get ready for it, just as we are ready for many other dangers that are around us all the time. First, you'll have to know what happens when an atomic bomb explodes. You'll know when it comes. We hope it never comes, but we must get ready. It looks something like this. There is a bright flash, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything you've ever seen. If you were not ready and did not know what to do, it could hurt you in different ways. It could knock you down hard or throw you against a tree or a wall. It is such a big explosion, it can smash in buildings and knock signboards over and break windows all over town. But if you duck and cover like Bert, you will be much safer.
Are you a factory worker? A member of a union, a trade association, a service club, or a church? Be alert to spot anyone promoting the communist line and working their way into some position of authority. They may not actually be commies themselves. They may not even be fellow travelers. They may be only communist dupes, but they are dangerous. Are you a student or a teacher? Well, write to your congressman for a copy of J. Edgar Hoover's report, Communist Target Youth. See how, on direct orders from Moscow, the party is in a drive to get communist speakers into our colleges and universities, taking advantage of American academic freedom and the students' naturally inquiring minds. Their aim is to preach revolutionary tactics and change peaceful campuses into scenes like this. The communist-incited student riots in San Francisco. Communist agents make more progress where they can first make trouble. Once you understand the commie line, you can readily recognize it when it appears.
Additionally, the space race, a fierce competition between the United States and the Soviet Union, was fueled by political tension, national pride, and the desire to dominate in technological advancement. The Soviet Union took an early lead with the introduction of the first ever artificial satellite, Sputnik, which was launched into space in 1957. This program sent global shockwaves and prompted the United States to accelerate its own space program. In 1958, Congress and President Eisenhower signed the Space Act that created NASA. On May the 25th, 1961, JFK publicly proposed sending a man to the moon before the decade's end. This is what led to the creation of the Apollo space program, which JFK predicted would be the success that would inspire people worldwide to choose democracy and freedom over Soviet communism. The intense rivalry between the superpowers resulted in monumental milestones being seen. The pursuit of space exploration aimed to secure strategic advantages and gather valuable intelligence during the Cold War. These technological advancements helped prevent aggression by communist powers through improved military capabilities and early warning systems.
In the background was the growing struggle between two great powers to shape the post-war world. Soviet Russia was expansively stabbing westward, knifing into nations left empty by war. On orders from the Kremlin, Russia had launched one of history's most drastic political, moral, and economic wars, a Cold War. The United States was obliged to help Europe safeguard its traditional freedoms and the independence of its nations.
But let's see what can happen elsewhere in, say, the small town of Mosinee, Wisconsin. Peaceful, isn't it? But the red truncheon falls and the chief of police is hustled off to jail. Next, public utilities are seized by fifth colonists. Watch carefully what happens to an editor who operates under a free press. He goes to jail, too, and his newspaper is confiscated. Exit freedom of thought. Yes, this is life under the Soviet form of government. The little town of Mosinee made this experiment for 24 hours, a public service to all America. It can't happen here? Well, this is what it looks like if it should.
I believe that it must be the policy of the United States to support free peoples who are resisting attempted subjugation by armed minorities or by outside pressures. The free peoples of the world look to us for support in maintaining their freedom. If we falter in our leadership, we may endanger the peace of the world, and we shall surely endanger the welfare of this nation.